Long before tractors, before fertilizers, before supermarkets, farmers fed entire empires. How? With ingenious, time-tested tricks still thriving today. Stay with me, because these 10 ancient farming hacks could transform the way you grow, save, and harvest in your own backyard, starting this season. Clay pot irrigation. In the heart of ancient China's farmlands, and under the blazing sun of North Africa's deserts, farmers had no hoses, sprinklers, or irrigation systems, yet their crops thrived, even in drought. Their secret? A humble clay pot. This is clay pot irrigation, an ingenious method over 2,000 years old. Farmers buried unglazed, porous clay pots beside their plants and filled them with water. The pot's tiny pores allowed a slow, steady seep into the soil, delivering moisture directly to the roots. No waste, no evaporation, just nature's perfect drip system. What's remarkable is how relevant this ancient method still is. With water shortages affecting so many regions today, this approach can save up to 70% more water than traditional surface watering. It's ideal for hot summers, dry climates, or for gardeners who can't water every day. Practical tip: use unglazed terracotta pots. Bury so the neck is slightly above soil level. Cover the opening to reduce evaporation and keep out insects. Refill every few days, depending on weather. Imagine a grandmother in a desert village, tending her garden before sunrise. She fills each clay pot, knowing her plants will drink just what they need, exactly when they need it. No rush, no waste, just quiet confidence in a method passed down for generations. Have you ever watered your garden without using a hose? Maybe a bucket, a jug, or even a rain barrel system? Share your method in the comments. You might inspire someone else to try it. And if you think clay pots are clever, wait until you see the ancient composting trick that could supercharge your soil. Companion planting. Long before synthetic fertilizers or pesticides, Native American farmers grew gardens that seemed almost magical. The secret? They didn't plant crops in lonely rows, they planted them in families. This method became known as the Three Sisters. Corn, beans, and squash, three very different plants, working together as one living system. Here's how it works. Corn grows tall, becoming a natural trellis for the beans to climb. Beans, in turn, fix nitrogen into the soil, feeding the corn and squash. And the wide, leafy squash sprawls over the ground, acting like a living mulch, keeping moisture in, weeds out, and pests confused. No chemicals, no costly inputs, just harmony. Show a backyard gardener recreating the Three Sisters in a raised bed. Modern gardeners still swear by companion planting, not just with these three, but with dozens of plant pairings. Marigolds deter pests from tomatoes. Basil helps repel flies and mosquitoes. When plants help each other, you get healthier growth, better yields, and less work. Practical tip: plant corn first so it's strong enough to support beans. Add beans once corn is 6 inches tall. Plant squash last, giving it space to sprawl. Use varieties suited to your local climate. Picture this: a Native American family centuries ago, working side by side in the sun. They knew each plant's role, trusted the process, and watched the harvest feed their village through winter. That same rhythm, planting in partnership, is something you can bring to your own garden today. What's your favorite plant combination in your garden? Have you found a pairing that thrives together? Share it below. You might give someone their next great idea. And speaking of partnerships, the next hack is all about teaming up with an unexpected ally, one that works day and night, without asking for a single meal. Ash as fertilizer. For the ancient Romans, and for farmers across medieval Europe, even the remains of a fire had value. Long after the flames cooled, the ash left behind was not waste, it was treasure for the soil. Roman farmers learned that sprinkling wood ash into their fields could boost plant growth. Early Europeans kept barrels of ash from winter fires, using it as a natural fertilizer when spring planting began. The secret lies in what ash contains: potassium, a key nutrient for healthy flowering and fruiting, and calcium carbonate, which gently raises the pH of acidic soils. For generations, farmers used it to balance soil, strengthen plants, and increase yields without a single chemical bag in sight. Cut to a backyard gardener sifting cooled ash into a bucket. Today, wood ash is still a powerful, completely free resource. perfect for gardeners looking to go organic. It works especially well for crops like tomatoes, garlic, onions, and brassicas that love a bit of extra potassium. Practical tip: only use ash from untreated, natural wood, never from charcoal or painted wood. Apply sparingly, about 1 cup per square meter. Mix into soil or compost to avoid nutrient burn. Avoid adding to soils with a high pH or around acid-loving plants like blueberries. But here's the key: a little goes a long way. Too much ash can throw your soil out of balance, harming more than helping. Think of it like seasoning in cooking. The right amount brings out the best, but overdo it and you spoil the dish. Imagine a family in the Middle Ages, gathering around the hearth in winter. By spring, the ashes from countless fires, each one warming and feeding the family, would return to the earth, starting the cycle of life all over again. Have you ever used ash in your garden? Did it help your plants? Share your results. Someone else might just try it because of you. Next, we'll explore an ancient food preservation trick that could keep your harvest fresh for months without refrigeration. Raised bed mounds. High in the mountains of ancient Peru, where icy nights could kill tender crops and heavy rains could drown entire harvests, farmers faced challenges most of us can hardly imagine. Their solution was nothing short of genius: the waru-waru. The waru-waru technique, developed over 1,500 years ago, used raised soil mounds surrounded by water-filled channels. These channels acted like nature's insulation, absorbing heat from the sun during the day and releasing it at night to protect crops from frost. During heavy rains, the water channels drained excess moisture away from the plants, preventing root rot. These elevated beds didn't just save plants. They turned unforgiving landscapes into productive farmland. The technique created its own microclimate, making it possible to grow crops in places that otherwise would have been too risky. Cut to a home gardener building a smaller raised mound in a yard with uneven terrain. Today, the same principle works beautifully for gardeners dealing with wet or poorly drained land. Raised mounds improve drainage, protect roots, and warm up faster in spring, giving you a longer growing season. Plus, they're a natural solution for flood-prone areas. Practical tip: make mounds 8 to 12 inches high for most vegetables. Space channels to allow easy watering or drainage. Use compost-rich soil for best results. Consider adding mulch to retain heat and moisture. Imagine an Incan farmer standing at the edge of his field at sunset. The water channels shimmer like silver ribbons, and the raised beds stand ready to protect his crops through the cold night ahead. His ancestors passed him this method, and now, centuries later, you can use the same approach in your own garden. Have you ever tried building raised beds or mounds? How did they work for you? Share your experience, you might help someone save their garden from flooding or frost. In the next chapter, we'll look at how ancient farmers harnessed wind and sun to keep pests away without a single drop of pesticide. Fermented plant tea. In the quiet gardens of ancient Japan and Korea, farmers had no chemical fertilizers, yet their vegetables grew lush and their harvests abundant. Their secret? A humble brew they called plant tea. Generations ago, gardeners collected weeds, crop trimmings, and even seaweed, then soaked them in water for several weeks. As the mixture fermented, it released nutrients in a form plants could drink instantly, a liquid feast made entirely from scraps nature had already given. Fermented plant tea is rich in nitrogen, potassium, and trace minerals, feeding plants while improving soil life. The fermentation process also fosters beneficial microbes, which help plants resist disease and grow stronger. Cut to a backyard gardener stirring a large bucket of greenish tea with a wooden stick. Today, this ancient practice is perfect for anyone aiming for a zero-waste garden. Instead of throwing away weeds or kitchen scraps, you can turn them into a powerful, free, and organic liquid fertilizer. It's sustainable, budget-friendly, and surprisingly easy to make. Practical tip: use any soft green plant matter, nettle, comfrey, weeds. Chop finely and submerge in water. Cover loosely and let sit 2 to 3 weeks, stirring occasionally. Strain before use and dilute, about 1 part tea to 10 parts water. It's a strong brew, too concentrated, and it can overwhelm young plants. Always dilute and apply to soil rather than directly on leaves to avoid scorching. Picture a small family garden by the sea in 16th century Korea. A mother fills a clay jar with seaweed and rainwater, knowing that in a few weeks, she'll have a rich tonic to pour at the base of her vegetables, a living link between the ocean and her. Kitchen table. Have you ever made your own garden fertilizer? What's your secret recipe? Share it below. Someone may discover their next favorite method from you. Next, we'll explore a centuries-old way of storing food underground, one that can keep your harvest fresh for months without electricity. Rock mulching. In one of the hottest, driest places on Earth, the ancient Nabateans, the desert farmers who built the city of Petra, learned how to coax life from the sand. Their secret was not in what they planted, but in what they placed around it. They practiced rock mulching, covering the soil around crops with stones of various sizes. To the untrained eye, it looked simple, even strange. But these stones created a microclimate that made survival possible in a land with almost no rain. Here's how it worked. By shading the soil, the rocks slowed evaporation, keeping precious moisture from vanishing into the desert air. They also shielded plant roots from the blistering sun, while at night, the rocks released the heat they had absorbed during the day, protecting crops from sudden cold. Even in harsh drought, this method kept the soil cooler, moister, and alive. Cut to a gardener in a dry backyard adding river stones around tomato plants. Today, rock mulching is perfect for hot, dry regions or gardens that struggle with water retention. It reduces the need for frequent watering, helps prevent weeds, and can even add a rustic beauty to your beds. Practical tip: use stones that are 1 to 3 inches in diameter for best results. Avoid sealing the soil completely. Leave small gaps for air exchange. Combine with drip irrigation for maximum efficiency. Choose lighter-colored stones in extremely hot climates to reflect sunlight. Imagine a Nabatean farmer standing under the relentless desert sun, gently placing stones around a tender seedling. Every pebble was a shield, every handful a promise that life could thrive even here. That same promise can still protect your garden today. Have you ever used stones or pebbles as mulch? Did you notice a difference in your plants? Share your story. It might help someone in a dry climate save their crops. Next, we'll uncover an ancient grain storage trick so effective that archaeologists have found edible food centuries later. Natural pest traps. In ancient Egypt, where the Nile's floods brought life and pests in equal measure, farmers learned that the smallest enemies could cause the greatest losses. But instead of reaching for poison, they turned to clever, natural traps. They used sticky resins from local trees to capture crawling insects before they reached precious crops. Clay bowls filled with beer or sweet fermented dates lured beetles and flies, drowning them before they could do harm. And at night, simple lamps drew swarms of moths away from fields, protecting grains from devastation. These methods worked with nature's instincts, attracting pests with scent, taste, or light, and neutralizing them without harming soil, water, or beneficial insects. It was pest control that was both effective and sustainable. Cut to a modern gardener setting up a shallow dish of beer near a lettuce patch. Today, natural pest traps are just as useful, especially for those avoiding chemicals in their gardens. Beer traps are great for slugs and snails. Yellow sticky cards catch aphids and whiteflies, and solar garden lights, placed a short distance from crops, can draw moths away before they lay eggs. Practical tip: for slugs/snails, sink a shallow dish of beer into the soil, rim level with the ground. For flying pests, use yellow sticky traps at plant height. For moths, set light sources away from crops to lure them elsewhere. Check and refresh traps regularly. Picture a farmer thousands of years ago, walking the edge of his barley field under the stars. Simple clay bowls and lamps stand guard, silently protecting his harvest while he sleeps. That same peace of mind is possible in your garden, without a single drop of pesticide. What's the most creative natural pest control method you've tried? Did it work? Share your tips. Your idea might save someone's garden. Next, we'll explore how ancient farmers turned waste into wealth with composting methods that still outshine many modern techniques. Green manure. In medieval Europe, long before the invention of synthetic fertilizer, farmers knew the secret to fertile fields wasn't always found in what they added, but in what they grew to give back. This was the practice of green manure planting certain crops, not to harvest, but to feed the soil itself. Clover, vetch, and rye were sown after a harvest. When the plants reached their peak, they were plowed back into the earth, returning nutrients and organic matter that crops had taken away. These plants worked like living fertilizer factories. Clover and vetch pulled nitrogen from the air and stored it in the soil. Rye protected bare ground from erosion during winter. When turned under, their decomposing roots and leaves improved soil structure, water retention, and fertility, all without a single coin spent at the market. Cut to a modern gardener scattering clover seeds over a bare vegetable bed. Today, green manure is perfect for small gardens and large farms alike. It's a low-cost, organic way to boost soil health, reduce weeds, and prepare your beds for the next planting season. Practical tip: choose plants suited to your climate, e.g., clover, rye, buckwheat. Plant during off-season or between crop rotations. Cut or mow before plants go to seed. Work into the soil and allow a few weeks before planting your next crop. Imagine a medieval farmer after harvest, standing in his field. Instead of leaving it bare, he plants a sea of green, knowing that come spring, the soil will be richer and the harvest stronger. His children will eat well because he thought not just of this season, but the next. Have you ever planted something just to feed your soil? What worked best for you? Share your experiences. You could inspire a fellow gardener to try it. In the next chapter, we'll travel to the rice paddies of Asia, where farmers learn to combine crops and animals for the ultimate win-win harvest. The ancient Romans believed healthy soil was the foundation of a powerful empire. Across the world in China, farmers understood the same truth, that the land could give abundantly only if it was given time to recover. Their answer was crop rotation, planting different crops in the same field from one season to the next. Grain one year, legumes the next, vegetables or fodder crops after that. Each plant had its own role, taking certain nutrients from the soil while giving others back. By rotating, the soil stayed fertile. Pests had fewer chances to multiply, and disease cycles were broken naturally. Wheat and corn might deplete nitrogen, but beans and peas replenish it. Root vegetables loosen the soil, while leafy greens thrive in the loosened earth. Over time, the land produces more, without the need for constant fertilizing or pest spraying. Cut to a backyard gardener using a notebook to plan which crops will go where next season. Today, crop rotation is just as important for home gardeners as it is for large farms. Even in a small plot, switching plant families from one bed to another each year can mean stronger plants, fewer pests, and richer harvests. Practical tip: group crops by plant family, nightshades, legumes, brassicas, roots, grains. Rotate each group to a new location yearly. Avoid planting the same family in the same spot for at least 3 years. Keep simple records to track rotations. Picture a Roman farmer standing on a hillside, looking over his fields. He knows where wheat will grow next year, where beans will restore the earth, and where vegetables will flourish. His careful planning ensures not just food for today, but abundance for years to come. Do you rotate crops in your garden? How do you plant it? Share your tips. Your method could make someone else's garden more productive. In our final chapter, we'll uncover an ancient water harvesting method so effective, it turned barren land into fertile oases. Sun mapping. The ancient Greeks were master observers of nature. Long before satellites and gardening apps, they relied on careful, year-round observation of how the sun traveled across the sky. By marking shadows with stones and noting where sunlight fell at different times of the year, they discovered the best spots for growing specific plants. This practice, known as sun mapping, allowed them to work with the seasons instead of against them, a skill that made their gardens thrive without any extra tools. Sun mapping is simply the art of watching your garden and learning its patterns. In summer, the sun arcs higher, casting shorter shadows, while in winter, it dips lower, stretching shadows long across the soil. By taking note of these shifts, the Greeks could plant sun-loving crops, like tomatoes or figs in spots that got the most direct light, while cooler crops, like lettuce, thrived in shadier corners. It's a patient, mindful process, and that's the beauty of it. Today, we often rush into planting without truly knowing our space. Sun mapping invites us to slow down, observe, and make planting decisions that nature itself approves of. No electricity, no special equipment, just your eyes, a notebook, and the passage of time. By placing plants exactly where they'll get the right amount of light, you boost growth, reduce stress on your plants, and even save on water because they're naturally thriving. Practical tip for you. Spend a day or two walking through your garden at morning, midday, and late afternoon. Notice where the sunlight falls and for how long. Over a few weeks, a pattern will emerge. Mark these spots, and when planting season comes, you'll know exactly where your crops will perform their best. If you have a balcony or patio, this works just as well. Just pay attention to seasonal changes. Why this still matters. Sun mapping connects you to the rhythm of your own land. It's more than a gardening trick. It's a reminder that success often comes from noticing what others overlook. The Greeks didn't force their plants to adapt to their will. They adapted their planting to the sun's timeless dance. Your garden, too, has its own story of light. All you have to do is listen. These ancient hacks remind us, great ideas never grow old. For centuries, they've weathered droughts, famines, and the passing of time, proving that nature's wisdom outlasts every trend. They fed empires, sustained humble village families, and now they can nourish your own garden, too. Whether you have acres of land or a few pots on the porch, these time-tested methods connect you to generations of growers who worked in harmony with the earth. So here's my question to you. Which of these will you try first? Or maybe you know an ancient trick passed down from your parents or grandparents that we didn't mention. Share it in the comments. Your story could inspire thousands and might even be featured in our next video. If you love the idea of bringing the old ways into today's gardens, don't let this be the last time we meet. Subscribe to the Evergreen Seniors, hit that notification bell, and join a community where life, learning, and gardens never stop blooming. The past has planted the seeds, now it's our turn to grow them.